Hey guys, it's Jen from JCT Rustic Homestead, and I'm getting kind of excited. I've had these blueberry plants for a couple years. The bunnies almost decimated them. They pretty much did decimate them one year, and my dad helped me build these little cages around them. But I was checking on them today, and it looks like they might be getting buds on them. I don't know for sure. I'm hoping that's a bud. We'll just have to wait and see. Since they're fruit, they won't do anything unless there's a flower. And these blueberries require some cross-pollination. That's why I have 3 of them. And cross-pollination means they just need another, you can't hardly see this one. They just need another variety in order to pollinate them. Not all blueberries are like that, but I got early blue. This is a Jersey blueberry. I forget what the other one is now. But, oh, the tag isn't right. But, they do better with the cross-pollination. I got 3 kinds that are supposed to be compatible. And then, they produce fruit at different times. Like, they're supposed to be spaced out a little bit more so that you don't have a big harvest at once. You can kind of space out the harvest. But I might transplant these over to Colton's. These I planted a couple years ago at my parents' house. We'll just have to wait and see. I need to weed them out a little bit, but I'm really excited that they might actually bear something. This is a Chester thornless blackberry bush, so it's a thornless. It needs pruned. It needs pruned bad. And I probably need to divide it and replant it. It's looking a little sad. Last year I pruned it and then all of the floricanes died. Now, blackberry bushes, at least this variety, only produce fruit on second year canes. So the first year you have the primo canes, and then the next year you get another set of primo canes plus the second year canes, which you call the floricanes, and the floricanes are what produce the berries. So I pruned them back the way I needed to, like I did the year before, and then all of a sudden all the floricanes died, so we didn't really get any. And here's some new growth right there. There's some new growth on them. So I'm not quite sure what happened to them. I just kind of left it alone. I thought maybe this year I wouldn't even prune it much because of what happened last year, but it kind of starts invading the yard. There's some more growth. It starts kind of invading the yard, and yeah, my parents don't like mowing around it, so they kind of mow off of it sometimes. But I gotta go through and take care of this. It's on my to-do list. Now, I also have a rhubarb fetish. This is my rhubarb, and it goes all the way down to there. I have 3 different kinds. This is I just lost it. Canada Red, maybe. And it has this darker stem. It'll get a lot bigger. It'll get like, I've had it this wide. This is my 3rd year, I think, with it. So it's still kind of growing and maturing and stuff. And but I got this from Stark Brothers. I've been really happy with their customer service and their prices and their quality. Have had a few problems with things, but overall I've liked working with Stark Brothers. I have a dandelion growing up through the middle of it, but this is Victoria rhubarb, and this is the most common rhubarb you're gonna find anywhere. I just decided to plant a row because I didn't want to. I had limited yard space. This is my parents' yard, so I'm only gonna do so much space, even though I want more rhubarb. And this is what you're going to find in every store, is the Victorian rhubarb. I don't like it as much. It tends to get woody sooner in the season. But it grows fast. I was able to harvest the first year. It says to wait till the following year, but if the leaves are dying back, I might as well use it. And I don't know what's going on. Oh, these probably got hit by the frost. We've had snow. unusual snow. The other thing I don't like about it, these are the flower heads. And take them off. Get rid of them. It only draws energy from the plant. And unless you're going to produce seeds, which is not really true to type anyway, you don't need the flower heads. They're junk. And every single one of these Victorian rhubarbs produce flower heads constantly. I can't. And then, after they produce flower heads, this flower stalk is hollow inside. So I pull off the flower head because it's not doing anything beneficial for the plant. It's actually negative because it's taking up more energy in order to reproduce instead of putting energy back into the stalks and roots and everything. See, there's another one. And there's another one. So, back to my stalk. Then it has a hole. So all the rain and everything goes down in there and then it rots out. It's just, there's another one. So in one teeny little area, I have 5, no, and there's 2 more. 6, 7, let's see. Oh, there's another one. I mean, like, every clump of stuff is producing a head. And I thought there's another one down here. I just can't see it with. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I hadn't even gone through the whole plant. Yep, there's another one. 8. And I just go down here and I rip it out. You can't really see, but I'm sure I'm not doing it right, but that's what's worked for me for years, so I'm going to continue doing it. But that's just really frustrating. That's why I don't like the Victorian rhubarb, is because it does that. This is more Victorian rhubarb. I planted this one and that one several years ago because I wanted more rhubarb. There's Melby. And then I planted that section of Victorian rhubarb probably the next year. And then the Canada Red way in the back. The Victorian rhubarb I just got at the store in town. The Canada Red I specifically looked for. I wanted another variety, and Stark Brothers had that. It seemed like a good choice. And so far I've liked it. I just it hasn't produced enough to do a whole lot with. That's a baby asparagus plant. I thought it was a weed. I pulled the wrong thing. But I'm not going to pick anything more. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let this die inside there and act as kind of as a mulch and fertilizer. A lot of older gardening theories is when you pull your rhubarb, you take the leaves off and put them back under the plant to act as a mulcher. This one, and I had another plant. I'm guessing it got mowed over. Or maybe this is my plant. Oh, you know what? This is my plant. I used to have a peach tree there and it died. This plant and this plant, I was wrong. That's not Victorian rhubarb. That's why there weren't really any heads on it. That plant and this plant, we've had for years and years and years and years and years. So when you read online that every few years you're supposed to dig up your rhubarb and plant new stuff, ignore it, because this has been here for probably 50 or more years. Every time we talk about this plant, we talk about the strawberry rhubarb. This is supposedly strawberry rhubarb. But when I look up information on strawberry rhubarb, they say it's that Victorian rhubarb because it's the oldest variety, yada, yada, yada. But this produces nothing like the Victoria rhubarb that I get at the store. This has the red stems. They don't get as big as the Canada Reds. The Canada Reds are also a deeper pink red color. This is more of like a pink. I guess I should say that differently. The Canada Red has that darker, almost purple hue stem. This has the pinkish red stem, and sometimes it's a little more green, like this one. You can see that. Not really. But for the most part, it's pink. It doesn't get a super big stalk, which is fine because it makes it more tender. It does not get woody like the, you can see all the little leaves in there. It doesn't get woody like the Victoria rhubarb. It's just, I really, really like this one. It freezes well. It cooks back up well after you freeze it. And I love this plant. That one little space over there is because I was testing to see if I could dig some of this up and transplant it, and we used to have several of these plants around here, and then they just gradually started dying off. And then one year I started cooking with it, and I just kind of fell in love with rhubarb. It's not like I eat a whole ton of it, because usually the recipes for rhubarb are super sugary, but I just love it. I just love it. I don't know why. So my rhubarb fetish grew, but this plant has been around for forever. And one year it was looking kind of sick, so I took some horse manure that had been, it was old, so it's not like was fresh manure. It shouldn't have been too acidic or anything. It was a couple years old, so it had plenty of time to get the acid out of it, and it about killed it. Like, I thought I was gonna lose it, actually. And it came back. That little piece over there, it came back. I gotta put a flag out so it doesn't get run over by the lawnmower. It used to be like weed free, and then I put the manure on it, and ever since then I've been picking weeds out of it. So I guess I shouldn't have done that. It should put some liquid fertilizer or something on it, like a plant that you get at the store or something. But they say to put like composted manure on it in the fall and let it sit over the winter, but I don't know. This plant has been through years of abuse and use, and someday, once I get that other one, once I feel more safe about that other one, it's not too big, but once I feel more safe about how that one is, I might dig this one up completely, separate it out, and then let it grow, because it's been in this same spot with no division whatsoever for years. Like I said, like 50 years. This plant has been around for 50 or 70 years. And it just keeps, I don't know what we would do if we lost this plant. So I gotta, once that smaller start takes off, maybe next year, I might divide this one out, and see if I can get more going on it. I'm not going to be too upset if the Victorian rhubarb dies, to be honest. I've lost a plant, but I didn't really cry over that one because I don't like it. I cook with it. I will freeze it, but it just doesn't work as well as this stuff. And if you look at these leaves, there was like maybe one damaged. But like the Victorian rhubarb, it's got that frostbite. I think it could have been because it was up earlier. But I'm not as happy with it as I am with this ancient plant here. The Canada Red, we'll see how that does. So far, I've really liked it. The Asian beetles also seem to go after my rhubarb. But I hope this plant stays around for a long, long time. I also have I have 3 apple trees here. My peach tree just keeled over a couple years ago, last year maybe. Very sad day because we've just gotten an awesome harvest off of it. But thanks for joining me today. Hope you like rhubarb. Let me know how you use rhubarb. I have an awesome rhubarb cream pie, but I don't know if I'm willing to share that recipe with you yet. Anyway, hope you all are having a good day. Visit us on our blog, jctrustichomestead.com, or on Facebook. We also have an Etsy store going on. And enjoy your day.